Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Two Women Rising Out of the Chrysalis, where we share life experiences and stories for inspiration as a way to help you have a breakthrough in your own life. And I'm Marisa.
And I'm Rita. Thank you for coming and welcome.
And today we actually wanted to talk about and share some stories that we may have about dealing with family members or even friends that might be struggling with some type of addiction, whether it's a drug addiction, alcohol, or it could be as simple as a sugar addiction, right? I had a really bad sugar addiction that I'm still kind of a little bit struggling with, but almost, getting through it. That could be a problem too.
Don't we all?
Yes. It's a really bad one too to kick off, because what happens with any addiction, I think, is our bodies become so addicted to it. Even if you prepare mentally, the body takes still a long time to get rid of the craving, because it's always craving for whatever that is, whether it's coffee or sugar or whatever it is that it's addicted to that you're trying to get rid of. The body always takes much longer to, detoxicate.
Right.
And it's always craving. So, Rita, do you have like a story that you want to share about this topic?
Yes, I do, but not about sugar. Sorry. I know we're giggling because we know better, okay? People don't be upset with us that we're giggling. It's a good topic to be happy, okay? To come out of the shadow, come out of your shell, come out of your cocoon, whatever it is, right? So we're giggling because we're happy today, because we get through that. So that's why we're here, and we're so happy that you are here too. So congratulations, it's for you. You are a winner, okay? So I do have a story. It's actually a very sad story. It's not about sugar. I have already said that. Okay, so one woman, she kind of like have a husband, right? And she told me the story that her husband's son, he is addicted to the drugs. So he'd been many times to mental health, and then now he decided to, like, everybody give up on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody want him, not his I believe there's like fiance. So she don't want him, the mother don't want him, the father don't want him. I understand that, but he's kind of like, he lives separate, right, from the parents. And one day he called to the father and he said, I'm coming to live with you, like I'm coming to you. Father said, I don't think so, because what happens, like, you don't respect nobody. You don't stop this drugs for your loved one, which is fiancé. You don't stop this for yourself. What makes you think that you will stop doing this for me? And the wife is not the mother; it's a stepmother.
It's a stepmother.
Right. And then a father says to his son, we offered to you a long time ago, live with us. You said no. So now when it's all bad, we get older, we cannot do this right now because we are not a specialist like for the mental issue. So how about you just find some place where you can go and do rehab? But the problem is they don't want to go and do all this rehab treatments. They don't want to stop this. They just want to come over and just ruin your life. They ruin their own life. And then now they want to come to your place, to your life, and ruin your life too. especially when you don't have that knowledge, you can't just take them in and just start to do whatever you think you can do to help them. So there must be something like very good place to go.
Yeah, it's important, like you get educated about whatever the addiction
Exactly.
is and be able to set boundaries, really good
And
boundaries that you can stick to so that, you know, you could still offer the help, right? You could support emotionally and, you know, get them the help that they need, but have boundaries in place so that it doesn't affect your life.
right, but it's too much for them to think like, you don't want to help to me. It's kind of like they think that they either abandoned me or betrayed me. That's too much, like emotionally they go through too much. But what what father said, it's very amazing what he said. I let him hate me for this, that I'm not accepting him today in my house. Then it will be later fighting. Fighting will coming because the drug addicts people, they don't know how to stop. So, and it will be like 24 hours sitting in one place and just don't do anything because person don't have a job. Um, and it will be, of course, stealing stuff and selling stuff because, um, sorry to say that, but it's true. People who have a drug issue, they don't like to work. They don't. I have another story. The person has 2 kids and he don't want to work. So wife would struggling, working, but he will be abused all around, what around him. So he have a house, he have 2 cars, he have so much to pay, and he don't want to go to work because he is abusing drugs, and nobody know how to help to him because he don't want to come out of this. He don't want to show to people what the pain is. So people who use drugs, they have very deep pain. It's like a
They
secret.
sure do. Yeah. They have a pain that they don't know how to handle.
Yeah.
And, you know, and oftentimes they're just scared, right? Scared to get the help because they don't know what it's like not to be in pain. But, you know, as a family member or friend, whoever it is, it's important that, you know, we educate ourselves about whatever that addiction is, whether it's drugs, alcohol, or whatever it is, and be able to set the boundaries in place because it can affect us emotionally, psychologically, financially. You
Mhm.
know, if they, let's say, move in with you, you know, it could financially impact you, or sometimes they don't even have to live with you. You know, they'll be asking for money to feed their addiction, and then that impacts your life. So it's important that you seek help as the family member in order to deal with a problem more effectively. You have to be emotionally prepared and eventually have intervention for them. You know, you have to educate them and try to persuade them to get the help, but sometimes that's difficult because they deny the help, right? They don't want to get help. So the ultimatum is to have some type of intervention, you know, in place. But to get to that point, you have to be emotionally stable
Right.
inside because, you know, you want to get over the fear of, you know, what will happen. Um, you know, when you actually get to the point of doing intervention, there's going to be a struggle, right? So you have to be emotionally prepared to deal with that confrontation and the consequences of it. You know, do they have other family members involved that you have to support after? So it's important to the family members they seek help and they are emotionally prepared. So whatever emotions, if you can't handle the emotions right now, it's important you seek the help to deal with those emotions so that you're stable in a good place to be able to deal with the situation.
Right, but there's like sometimes it's too difficult to do so. So
Yes.
let's say the mother tried to help to son, and son like hate her so much, like unbelievable. Like she said that better if we will not talk or don't see each other. But son is hate so much mother because she's not there for him either, even though I do know that she helped him too much. And it's blame. They blame everybody. Everybody is guilty. Like they will blame
Yes, there it's
everyone in the world except themselves. This was. I have another woman. She said that she have a problem with her stomach. Um, it's very painful and stuff like this. And I said, what's wrong? She said, my daughter, she was so beautiful. She was so smart and so like very bright person. And then she decided to just try drugs. She said, I don't know what she tried. I don't know what it is. But my daughter just can stay in the front of wall and just stare at this wall or just talking to something like, yourself or to the wall. Sometimes there is not even clean or good quality of drugs. People just think, oh, let me get high. I want to forget about my pain. And they don't understand, like they can damage their own brain. The brain is go like shrinking. There is no oxygen in there. The vessels or this is muscles or whatever it is, like it gets shrink. Like there is no oxygen in there. They just have those hallucinations. They become very dangerous to loved one who love them. So how you can
Yep.
stop that?
It's true. It affects, the physical body, right?
It is
And
big
your
time.
brain, your mind. But there's another element that happens when we consume these substances, alcohol, whatever, drugs, even sugar, or any other things are harmful to your body. It actually affects your energetic body too. What does that mean is it brings your vibration down to a lower level.
Really
and
low.
very low. And when you're at that level and you maintain yourself at that level because you continue this, the substance, taking in the substance, you start attracting negative energies that are at the same frequency. So, and then you become a different person. You're not the same person that you usually are. And you will notice that within your family members that, they'll walk in, there's the person that you always know. And then in a split second, they become like a totally different person that you can't even recognize. And you don't even know where that's coming from. It's like a switch going off, and it's like a totally different person just walked in the room, is storming in, and you don't know what just hit you,
To expect,
what to expect.
Yeah.
And this is an element that it's not discussed very often, but this is real. When you're at this low vibration, you do attract negative energies to you, and you become subject to have these attachments very easily. And they utilize your body for their own purpose. And this is why we see that the people will act totally different, not themselves. And sometimes they don't even remember, right, how they act and what they said. And they can't even believe that they said those things or acted the way they acted because they weren't themselves.
I will tell you more. Like, let's say parent talks to child, right? And they would say, listen, please do this, this, and this. And whatever this is, they have a trigger in the sentence. And then the drug addicts person who use that, it will click, and they will just click with this too. And they go back to that pain, and they will snap. They destroyed everything around. And they will scare people. They will scare the mother, father, kids, brothers, sisters. I know, like, we have to help to them, but till they don't want that, you can't help them. You just can't. They're so stubborn. They keep saying, I will kill this, I will kill that person, I will kill myself. I love this. I will eat this, I will breathe this, I will drink this. they just like to be in that stage of the fantasy or whatever it is. It's horrible. I can tell one thing about myself. When I was 18, I tried, I think it's marijuana in your language. So I try one puff, one, and it's drive me nuts for 3 days. I thought like everything moving, everything like scare me. And I keep saying to the person who gave it to me that, please don't send me to a mental house and don't tell my mom because she will put me in a mental house. That was only one experience I have. And I never ever did this again, never. But what make people go back to this? I would never understand them. I don't want to understand because I don't want to be in them in that position. But what I want to do is help. What, like, let's say what I did. I know like I don't like it, and I just come out of this. Like walk in, walk out. I remember that walk out. So and I can just. I used to drink too when I was younger, but I decided to do not do this because it just damaged my system. I can, let's say if I drink wine, I can smell all the toxin in my nose. I cannot even drink. I don't want to. That's what I would say. So I did have all my experience. I don't even drink casually right now because I choose to do not to. But how to help the person who don't want your help? I don't know how to do this. I would like to learn how to do this. But if there is,
There's definitely help out there. And if you're in the situation and you don't know what to do, you could always reach out to us and we'll guide you in the right direction and where to get help. But what's really important for you as the family member dealing with this is that, number one, you educate yourself about the issue, right, that they're going through, really understand it, and set good boundaries around you so you don't become, emotionally distraught, psychologically and financially distraught by the situation. And, deal with your own emotions, get help to deal with your fears, right? Because a lot of times the person with the addiction are very manipulative, right?
Who we're talking about, parents or drug addicts people? Who?
The parents, the family members are dealing with them.
Right. Okay.
They could reach out to us. And if you are dealing with a substance abuse and you need help, we could also guide you in the right direction and where to get help.
And also I would suggest to them to have a list of help, like, and even kids, teach the kids how to call 911 or emergency. It can be anything because people sometimes go over with drugs and they can choking with them on foam from the like acid go up and they can die. Actually, I know the person who died outside on the street. It's in between car and home. It's just because couple steps to the house and he couldn't make it. He was like very young person and he died because too much drugs and they don't know how to stop and parents don't know what to do with this, especially for everybody who around that person. We just suggest to go and just Google it, how to help, what the first help. These things can be very tragic. Like another person, also very young person, died with the overdose. There's have so many stories of overdose, and they are very
I
young.
have my own story, which we'll probably, talk about it more in detail in the next episode, with dealing with my dad and his alcoholism and how it affected the whole entire family. Now, we all have choice, right? We have a choice not to put up with it, but there's a fear that's involved when we're dealing with a family member. And that's something you have to learn how to overcome. And once you overcome that fear, it makes it so much easier to deal with the problem and set those boundaries. because fear is what's preventing or it's in the way of you actually getting that person help.
I think the fear of love. You love the person. You don't want
Of
to hurt. You don't
losing
want to,
them, or you know,
yeah.
the
You don't want to call the
consequences.
police.
Right.
You don't want to call to mental house and put them in there. Like you feel guilty about this. It's all BS. Just do it. You have to do it. Otherwise, it will be all in the family. Everybody can be hurt. You don't know
Right.
what they
But
will
it's
do.
not as easy as just doing it. You know, the fear
No, just
can
don't call the
really
police. Yeah,
prevent
and
you from
everybody have to
taking
know.
action. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's something you need to get help on to get over that fear. It's really
Imagine if
important.
there is like a person, like a woman with a son and the two kids. You have to just grab everybody, get out from the place and just call to police and make a police deal with it.
Absolutely. If your life is
Yeah.
in danger, or if there are kids involved and their lives are in danger, you should absolutely call 911 right away. And don't hesitate. Don't let that fear get in the way.
Yeah, I know one woman, right? She's
Mhm.
she's suffering that she feel like guilt about she lost son, but he was drug addict and she couldn't do nothing. And she said to me like, what I do? Like I said, you cannot do nothing. The person come over here to the earth, and it's his or her choice. And plus, you are not writing his future. He or she do this on their own, like I do on my own. You do this on your own. We all make a choice. And when we, as a parent, uh, choose to help to our kids, they don't want that help. They don't. They just
But as the
push you away
parent,
as yeah, but
what
even
happens is, as the parent, you feel guilty because you feel like it's your fault, that you did something wrong.
that's why you have to
That, you
cut
know,
this. No
right.
guiltiness. You have to cut
And
this.
yeah, that's the fear again that you have to get over, because it's not your fault. You didn't make that choice. Now, the root cause of the problem, you know, at some point might have been caused by you without you even knowing, but then again, it's still not your fault, right?
Right.
What each individual experiences in life, it's up to them how they interpret, you know, how they interpret and create the belief around the experience is how it all affects their life later on. So two people can experience the same thing or grow up together in the same household, experiencing the same, like being exposed to the same thing, and yet they gonna grow up to be two different people because they will interpret each experience differently. And they'll have different emotions around it.
Right, I have another one. So, woman, she told me that her husband used what is called very strong one. I think it's cocaine. I think she said, and she said that she couldn't even talk. That like she tired of this. She couldn't even speak up for herself. Like, let's go do this or that, or stop, or let's help you, or even she said I have to travel everywhere alone on my own. I have to go there on my own. I have to enjoy by myself walking even around park. And she said I don't like this anymore. I want somebody to love me. So people who is using that thing, they don't really realize what you're doing. They don't see you suffer because you choose to be next to this person. You have to speak up. If you're wife of the person, you have to speak up. You have to say what you want from him or from her. Doesn't matter. In my story, it's she who is suffering because he is using drugs. And she said, I'm tired to be alone. It's been many years now, and I just want to do this and I want to go there. And I said, okay, then how about you just talk to him first? Did you ever talk? No. So go and talk to him. So she did. She talked. And now she's come back to me and she said, we're going on cruise. So I hope it's a good one, right?
Yeah. I mean, you know, that's the important thing, is that you seek help, because the whole family gets impacted by it. The people around it are the ones that sometimes suffer even more, right?
Yeah.
Than the actual individual with a problem. So it's important that you seek that help and deal with those emotions and get your strength back, get your life back, get control of your own life back so you can, have the life that you deserve, without being ruined by that certain individual, right?
Right.
So I think, do you have any other stories? I think I'm going to leave my story for another episode because that's going to be a long story.
Oh,
With
okay.
dealing with the whole alcoholism with my dad.
Alcoholism, different things. Let's talk about this next time because I also know a couple stories about alcoholism. It's a little bit different, but it's same story. And they don't see, they just hurt people because they're hurt inside. They don't care.
Well, that's with
Um,
anything. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
and if there's have like trigger like mother or father, child or whatever, like you see it and it's your trigger, it's better don't communicate. Like better if you send somebody else.
Don't
Like
engage.
yeah,
That's the
don't
key.
that
Don't
yeah.
engage. Because once you start engaging, it just,
Then you're the bad person. Just
yeah,
don't do
you're
that.
just
Yeah,
gonna extend that whole problem.
yeah,
Just that's what they want. They want you to engage so they can continue. It's better sometimes not to engage and walk away.
right.
It's the best thing to do.
Sure.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for supporting us on this show for this topic today. And I hope this story, and if you have anything that you want to share about this topic, or if you need some guidance from us, we just reach out to us and we'll sure guide you in the right direction to get the right help. So, and if you'd like to be a guest on our show and share your story of whatever it is that you have overcome, please send us, there will be a link below the videos where you could send in your information and we'll reach out to you. So thank you so much, guys. And until next time,
Thank you, everyone, and have a beautiful life. Still smile, be happy, and make everybody around you be happy too. Bye.
Bye.